Clark is a failed architect who now owns a furniture store nobody cares about, struggling to recover from a painful divorce. He tries to numb the grief and loneliness with alcohol and therapy, but neither does much to help him come to terms with reality. Then one day, he discovers a passage hidden beneath his store that leads into a mysterious realm, an endless maze of rooms with bizarre geometry and impossible architecture. As Clark explores these labyrinths, he begins spending more and more time there, eventually growing accustomed even to the deadly creatures lurking in its darkest corners. There was a time when the label based on a video game was almost a guarantee of backlash from both critics and audiences. But times have changed. Alongside the inevitable adaptations of blockbuster franchises, studios have begun turning to cult indie games as well. Producers are paying attention not only to recognizable brands, but also to ideas, themes, and world building. And in that respect, Backrooms was a perfect candidate for a film adaptation. For those unfamiliar with it, Backrooms is a series of independent games built around a single concept: hidden labyrinths whose world is shaped by whatever lies buried inside the human soul. Their symbolism is embedded in the architecture itself, in distorted proportions and half-erased details that create a constant sense of unease. At one point in the film, someone says it's like a person who's never seen a dog trying to draw one based only on a verbal description. It's an unusually accurate comparison. That's what the Backrooms look like, but they also have a symbolic dimension. They are a physical manifestation of trauma, resentment, and dark emotions that consume a person from within. Everything in this world is subtly distorted and exaggerated. Some details become overwhelming, others fade away entirely, while the monsters inhabiting its endless corridors embody repressed emotions. The film boasts striking, highly distinctive visuals and exceptional sound design, and together they allow Backrooms to function less as a story than as a world. In that sense, it's a genuinely unique film, one that invites you not so much to watch it as to study it, almost like an art installation, examining its imagery and deciphering its symbolism. But uniqueness does not mean universality, and Backrooms certainly isn't a film for everyone. Not because some viewers supposedly won't understand it, but because its dramatic structure revolves not around a situation, but around a psychological state. There's almost no traditional plot progression here, only the experience of living through it. It's an unusual storytelling device that doesn't move the narrative forward so much as turn it inside out, inviting the audience on a guided tour through the fractured mind of its protagonist. From the outside, it may seem as though the film is simply spinning its wheels, but that's not a flaw, it's the point. Backrooms is deliberately built around the feeling of being trapped, of having no choices and therefore no escape from its endless maze. That may push some viewers away at first, but it's entirely possible that the film's aftertaste will catch up with you later, once its visual imagery and existential ideas quietly settle into place. This isn't a film that tries to be fully understood on the first viewing. It trusts its audience to complete it in their own minds after the credits roll. Director Kane Parsons was no stranger to the world of the original game before making the feature film. Long before this adaptation, he created a web series based on Backrooms, which he released on YouTube. The young filmmaker quickly caught the attention of some of the industry's biggest names. James Wan, Sean Levy, and Osgood Perkins all served as producers, while A24, the studio famous for turning virtually every one of its releases into a cultural event, handled distribution. Backrooms, however, became not only a cultural phenomenon, but also a commercial one. Made for just $10 million, it grossed more than $350 million worldwide, almost certainly launching yet another horror franchise. Whether the sequels will be as compelling remains an open question, although in this particular case, the feeling of being trapped in an endless cycle of repetition seems strangely appropriate.